Hey, my name is Mona Black, and today we're going to be making Butterfinger Delight. This is a scrumptious, delicious dessert. It's caramel, fudgy, just wonderful. What we did first is we went ahead and we mixed up our German chocolate cake mix. We used 4 ounces of whipped cream cheese, that is Philadelphia brand cream cheese. We added 3 eggs, 1 1/4 cups of water, and 1/3 cup of oil. We mixed that up and we put it in a 9 by 13 glass baking dish. Okay, I already have the cake ready to come out. The important thing about this is that you're wanting to do this when the cake is hot. When it first comes out of the oven, you're going to bake the cake around probably 30-35 minutes depending on your oven. Okay, what we're going to do is you take a wooden spoon, and when this first comes out of the oven, you're going to want to poke holes all in the whole top of this cake. So you need to do this because it won't absorb the items that we're going to put on if you don't do it right at first. If you let it cool off a whole bunch. Okay, so we're just going to put holes in the whole top of it. Once we get all these holes poked, then we're going to be pouring 1 can of sweetened condensed milk on there first. And that will, we're going to let that sit for 10 minutes, and then it will be absorbed into all of this cake, and it's going to make this cake so moist and delicious. Okay, so let's hurry up and get these little holes punched in here. This is great to take to any function. You can take it. I have a good friend of mine, and for their birthday, this is their favorite cake, and they just look forward to me making it every time. Okay, so once that's done, we're going to take our condensed milk, and what you're going to do is just you're going to spoon this over. Make sure that you kind of get all the holes covered, because it's going to run down in these holes as you get this done. So that's the point of making it. If you just pour it over the cake without the holes, it's not going to allow this to go and penetrate all the way down through the cake. So we're going to put this on. Now it's important, for time reasons today, we're not going to wait 10 minutes in between each layer, but it's very important for you to wait 10 minutes in between the layers of when you put this on, right when it comes out of the oven, and then your second mixture that you put on, you need to wait 10 minutes and let this absorb really good, then put the second mixture on, and then wait 10 more minutes and let it absorb. That way it gives it time for all of this. It's like a sponge, and it'll just soak up all this delicious stuff. Okay, so we've got all of this. Looks like that it's covered pretty well. You can take your spoon if you want to, if you see that you got some, you know, somewhere that might need to be spread out. But do it gently, because as the cake starts getting really moist, it'll let the cake kind of break off and get onto your spoon. And this is what it looks like so far. Then we're going to take, after that sits for 10 minutes, then you're going to take a jar of the Hershey's as the caramel ice cream topping. You find this over in the section to where you get the ice cream toppings. You're going to just put this over it. Do the same as you did. And if you want to save just a little bit in the bottom of the jar, once you get your dessert ready to serve, you can kind of garnish on your plate with it. So I normally save just a little bit down in the very, very bottom of the jar to use. Just make sure that you get this spread out and go around and get all the little holes, because every single bite of this that you take, you're going to want to taste all these goodies. This is so good. And if you can't find the Hershey brand, you can use really any brand that you want. They have Smuckers or whatever, but just make sure that it's the caramel topping. And then the next one that we're going to put on is going to be the hot fudge. You don't want to get just the chocolate syrup. That's a little bit too runny. And once you get all this done, we're going to be putting this in the refrigerator. It's better if you wait overnight because to serve it, because it's just really all of the flavors goes together, and then the toppings gets hard again. Like this hot fudge and all that stuff will firm back up. So it's just better if you do use the hot fudge and if you wait overnight to serve it. Okay, so once that's done, I saved a little bit, like I said, to go on the plate for garnish. Then we're just going to kind of run our spoon over this. Here's the second layer. Now we're going to do this. You're going to wait 10 minutes after that. Then we're going to be doing the fudge. So we're just going to kind of, now I did heat this fudge in the microwave on about 35 seconds. It really depends on your microwave. You might need it to heat a little bit more or whatever, but you're going to kind of just put the whole bottle on here of it, saving just a little bit for topping. Take your spoon and just kind of, once that you let this sit for the 10 minutes, it's gonna all be absorbed and down into the holes. So when you go to pour the chocolate, the holes will be open again, and it's going to allow all of this chocolate to go down into the holes. So just kind of spread this good all over the top. As you're spreading, kind of just with your spoon, you're kind of just pressing down just a little bit. That kind of helps it to fill. Okay. Then once you get that done, you're going to set that aside, and on the cooling rack is really good because this cake is really hot and you're going to want it to cool. So you're going to set that aside and let that cool, and then we're going to be mixing up the topping. We're going to mix the other 4 ounces of the Philadelphia whipped cream cheese. We're going to go ahead and beat this up just a little bit. Okay, then we're going to be adding 12 ounces of Cool Whip. And you're going to be adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So what we're going to do is get this mixed up really good. Go down in the bottom because you want to make sure that you get all of that cream cheese mixed up really good. Okay. Now, sometimes if you see that your cake is still really, really hot, you might want to put it in the refrigerator for a little bit to make sure that it's really cool. You want your cake to kind of be cool. Sometimes I've even waited till the next day when I'm ready to serve it. But you'll take and add your Cool Whip mixture with the cream cheese. You just put this on the top. If you do add this and your cake is still hot, you will find that it will kind of melt your Cool Whip, and you don't want that to happen because this is what makes it really good and pretty. So what we're going to do is just spread this out evenly. Once we get this spread out, what we're going to do is top this. Does that not look delicious? What we're going to do is top this with Butterfingers, and I buy a pack of the little miniature Butterfingers, and what I do is turn them up where the little label thing is on the back that you can pull up. That way it won't break the pack. I just hit it with a knife. You just want to break it up just a little bit. Then you're going to garnish the whole top of this. Open it up. Just let these little packs fall out to your hand, and you're just going to sprinkle this with these hunks all over your cake that you made. And then you put this in the refrigerator and let it stay all night and serve it the next day. It is absolutely wonderful. Everybody just has a fit over it. They just love it. Here we go. And if you don't want quite as many Butterfingers, you don't have to use the whole 8-pack. Or if you want more Butterfingers, whatever you like. We're going to put these on here. Okay. Here we go. We got this last one on there. Does that not look delicious? And here we go. This is our finished product. We have that wonderful, wonderful cake. Has the caramel, the hot fudge. We call this Butterfinger Delight. Let's get a little bite and see how it is. Oh my goodness. That is absolutely wonderful. Hope you want to try you some, get some ingredients, make it, eat up and enjoy.